Rick Weintraub, or better known to almost everyone as Grandpa Rick, was born on October 2nd, 1938 in Brooklyn, New York. My grandpa had two events that he said shaped his life and made an impact on his family. The first event happened on November in 1959 in Waco, Texas. While he was in flight school for the U.S. Air Force, he decided to take a stroll around Baylor University. While there, he saw a girl sitting on a bench under a tree and fell in love at first sight. After sweet-talking her, he got a first date, and the rest is history. This event changed his life in two major ways. First, it changed his spiritual life. My grandpa grew up in a traditional Jewish household in New York City, but after meeting my grandma, he was introduced to a Christian missionary family. Even though it was not what he was used to, my grandpa became curious about my grandma's faith and why everyone in Texas was always talking about Jesus. So, he decided to start reading the New Testament of the Bible. Over the next 2 to 3 years, my grandpa met Jesus and surrendered his life to him. His life was also affected because 55 years later, Patricia, my grandma, is still the love of his life. Their marriage is pure sweetness. Even after all of these years, they love each other deeply, watch movies together every single night, and he still spoils her like a princess. Due to this love, a family with 2 kids, a daughter-in-law, a son-in-law, 6 grandchildren, and 1 great-grandchild was born. Our family is a very close-knit family, and we're always around each other. I think this is because of my grandpa and his love for his wife and the rest of his family. The other significant event that shaped my grandpa's life is his service in the U.S. Air Force. In October of 1962, President Kennedy announced Russia was putting nuclear missiles in Cuba. At 23 years old, my grandpa was sent out on mission. He was placed on a combat crew flying B-52 airplanes carrying nuclear weapons over Russia. That week, he flew 3 26-hour missions flying over Russia. This event was significant to my grandpa because he had the opportunity to serve the United States of America. My grandpa's dream since he was a young boy was to fly. He loved flying, so joining the Air Force was a dream. But during his mission to Russia, he finally understood that it wasn't not just flying, but that he was playing a role in history and serving his country. Also, throughout this event in his life, he discovered his gift to serve other people. Throughout serving the United States, he realized that serving others was what he was called to do in his life. Ever since then, he has been a servant to everyone around him. My grandpa has changed my life in many ways. He is an incredible patriarch of my family, leads us well, but does everything with a humble servant heart that is centered on Jesus. Through my grandpa's life, I have learned how to follow my dreams, like he did to the Air Force, love others well, just like he loves my grandma, and serve others with a humble heart. My grandpa said that both of these major events shaped his life significantly because they were both centered on Jesus. This has impacted my life because as the leader of my family, I have learned from him what it means to love Jesus relentlessly and pursue him above all things. While interviewing my grandpa, he said he wants everyone to know to never take events in your life gently because they can change your life in a significant way, just like these events changed his life.